Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the cellar of Southern Maryland. It is Tuesday afternoon. It's around 2:30. Coming to you from the frozen tundra of Southern Maryland. So we ended up getting a little over a foot of snow yesterday, and the fire pit is completely snowed under. And someone asked a good question. They asked it kindly, but they were like, "The hell are you thinking? What is the thought process behind a man buying so much tobacco so early in his pipe career?" And I told him, "Hey, you know what? It's a great question. I'm going to show off my cellar again. I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened in here, why would I do this? This month, right about now, marks 2 years in my pipe journey. I literally bought my first pipe and my first bit of tobacco in January of 2023. It's actually the reason the channel has a name. It is Piper Dave 2023. Pretty creative, huh? One thing I'm not is very creative, artistic. I know that. I've learned that about myself over the years. I married an artist. My wife birthed an artist in Lauren. So I'm surrounded by them, and that's how I know I ain't one. As always, smoking the Maryland Meerschaum, Church Warden. And what's in it? Again, from Mark. I want to say this right. London Fog. So this is the third sample I've been smoking from Mark. So Mark, thank you again. I think I pretty much went from my Christmas blends to the day after Christmas. So I moved to Mark's samples, and this is the third one. I'll probably be on samples until I leave. You know, we leave for Wyoming a week from this Friday, 10 days away. Christmas is largely put away in our house. We have the big tree up still. We have a deal that with our daughter, we don't take the big tree down until she goes back to school. This is our 4th year under that agreement. So Sean has gone back to Denver. Christmas is basically put away. My daughter flies back to school on Saturday. We'll take the tree down Saturday night, and then I'll have 6 days to get prepped for the trip back to Wyoming. Can't remember if I said this out loud on a video, but this is the most dangerous crossing of the year. January to cross the United States is really not the best idea on the planet. Thank God the snowstorm that just happened didn't. Hopefully we'll have another one next week, because it basically followed the I-70 corridor. It literally came east on the path I have to drive west on. Why do I go now, you big dumb idiot? Basically to take Ranger home. Sana's at home alone. He wants his dog back. I'll have had him for 2 months at that point. It's time to get Ranger home. And I want to get back to Wyoming. So I think maybe from a couple of days ago till the day I leave, God is just toughening me back up to get ready for the Wyoming winter. We have 4 feet of snow on the ground at the home in Wyoming. And we will not melt out. We will not be snow-free on the Wyoming property probably until May. 2 years ago, it was June. Drinking a little bit of my Cowboy Black coffee with it. So let's take a tour of the Maryland cellar, and then we will chat about how the hell did this come about. I got Ranger by my side as I record this, and Sasha's way over on that side. She's telling me she wants to go out, but I just took her out, so she's just being a pedal puss. She loves the snow. I've got to do a dog snow video. So the Maryland cellar is 9 now. 9 of these bookshelves. They're pretty much full at this point. So it's give you a quick pan, and we'll go through them. I'm going to go through all 9 bookcases. So if this part bores you, just fast forward through it. But here they all are. I got the bar kind of stuck in the middle with the fridge. And then there's the other last 2 over there. All right, so if we walk up to the first one, I've got Arrowhead, Apricots and Cream, Quiet Nights, Cage Cove, Cavendish, Philosopher from Tinderbox, 8 State Burley, Dark Flake Unscented, Pennsylvania Dutch Treat, and then down below I've got Wessex Curly Block, Gold Bricks, Chocolate, my Chocolate Flake, Solani, some Rat Rays. You can just see it's kind of a little bit, it's stacked neatly, but it's not organized too well. But you can see that everything's pretty full. The second one, I did a panic buy on things like HH, Bold Kentucky, my Old Dark Fired Ready Rub, and Pure Virginia. I've got pounds of it up here. So if I pull this out, you'll see I've got it all in the back there. So there's a second set of jars, and it's just my panic buy. I bought 5 pounds of most of it. And then I've got, this is some of my favorites, Premium Burley, Dark Fired Cherry, Burley Morning Pipe. And then this is the shelf. I just got a bunch of one-offs. Most of these have been sent to me by you guys, to be honest. Look at that. There's a Frog Mortons that you guys sent me. But underneath of it, if I can do this, underneath of it, I've got some of the earliest things I purchased. I thought I was an aromatic man 2 years ago. So I went and bought a large jar from Boswell's of all their aromatics. And that's what all these canisters are. And all the canisters came labeled. They come just like this. If you buy a large canister from Boswell's, it actually comes to you like this. I probably wouldn't do this today because I hear aromatics don't store well, but these are almost 2 years old and they've not degraded at all yet. Then I go down, I got a bunch of tins, a bunch of Cylons Black, and then you can just see these tins, and then the tins down there. There's my Christmas. This is sort of my Christmas shelf. This is the 3rd bookshelf. You can read these: Shepherd's Pie, Rivendell, Seersucker, Ruins of Windsor, and Velvet, which probably should be over on the Codger shelf. And then my twists: Rum Twist, Brown Bogey, Black Twist, which I bought in the Ready Rub, Brown Iris X. And then there's some more of those Boswell aromatics. I've got a bunch of Rustica stacked around. Got a couple of one-offs. More tins. My lower shelves tend to be where I put my tins. I got a whole bunch of 1792 flake because that comes on and off the market. So that's another stack. There's my Warhorse Green. There's my Davidoff. This is sort of my vapor section. And then some just random. There's Scarecrow Warped. There's my Thanksgiving Smoker's Pride, Captain Black. We'll move over to the 3rd. This is the 3rd bookshelf. Just more tins down here. So I bought all my plum puddings, my Seattle Pipe Club stuff in my first year. I haven't smoked much of it. We'll get to it. Presbyterian, Mixture 365, EMP, which is one of my favorites. There's some Pipe Force I brought over. Mississippi Muds, one of my favorites. You can just see I got just such a melee of a cellar. And then I've got so much HU I had to start stacking in the corners. And here's a bunch of just random blends and samples people have sent me over time. A couple of cigars from Mark. So we're in the 4th bookshelf now. There's my crack security team at work. And then I have my Tupperdoors take up 1.5 shelves. So I've got my top 10 and my honorable mentions. And this is my codger section with my rubber plug just stacked on top. Some more codger. Salty Dog, Captain Black, Ahab's Comfort, which isn't a codger. I get it. If I told you I'm not stacked as organized as I should be. And then this entire, what is this? 1, 2, 3. This is the 6th bookshelf, and it's all HU. And then all my open stuff that I've either came to me bagged or I opened up a bigger jar. I just have 40 or 50 of these things just opened. I mean, they're all jarred and sealed, but you can just see how many I'm dealing with. Then Watch Cities, Simply Orange and Simply Red, some Sutliff Vanilla. My last two, this is the kind of the 8th and 9th, I put up here simply because I kept buying HU. This is all HU tobacco, all ordered from Esterval's, all came over from Germany. So that's 3 entire bookshelves dedicated to HU tobacco. So just pan you back across all that. So that is the Wyoming cellar. So now you've seen the cellar. I know I've shown it a couple times, but there's so many new people that I thought showing the cellar would kind of probably justify the question that came up. Why would a man do this? And why would a man do this so early in his pipe journey? And the simple answer is there's not a simple answer. There's probably 5 or 6 reasons. So I'll just walk you through them. So the first reason, we'll just go with the embarrassing one first. The first one is 2 years ago, I didn't know shit from Shinola on tobacco. And so what I would do is I'd watch people's top 10 or the best of 2022 or what's the blend you would take to the desert island, or if you could only have one blend, what would it be? And I spent a lot of time those first few months watching those kind of videos because I literally didn't know anything about pipe tobacco. I've studied pretty hard for the last 2 years. I still don't know a lot about pipe tobacco, but I sure know a hell of a lot more than I did 2 years ago. My pipe journey will continue. I'll continue to learn. When you watch my tobacco reviews, if you can call them that, first impressions or the impressions of an amateur, I continue to try to refine the palate, both the nose and the taste. But the first reason is when I would watch a video and somebody say, these are the top 10, I would pick up like the top 3 or 4 or 5 off of every video. I did exactly what the experienced guys tell you not to do, which is start buying. And then when I found Boswell's, one, I liked supporting them, and I love how they're all right there, right there. I love the jars. I loved supporting them. I liked the idea of having 15 different varieties of aromatics, and I said, why buy the little jar when you buy the big jar? I mean, that's pretty deep thought process, huh? And that was, normally I show him sleeping, so it's good that you hear him actually doing his job. That's Ranger. He's by far the primary security dog. Sasha's more of a backup, particularly when Ranger's present. Sasha takes the backup role. When Ranger's not present, she's pretty good on her own. So the second reason, I think I'm a bit of a hoarder, not really a hoarder, but I'm a prepper by nature. I like having physical control of my world as best I can. I've shown you I've shown you my preps. I've shown you my food preps. I've shown you my med preps. I've shown you, my weapons and my ammo preps. I've shown you my armory. I've shown you my ammo backup, my ammo cellar for what I call my armory. And so this is just sort of another example of that. Somebody just put out a video. I don't remember who it said, if you're honest, could you smoke your cellar before you die? And I clearly can't. There's no way. Because I have a fairly substantial cellar, not to this level, but in Wyoming as well. So I probably should do this video sitting in front of my Wyoming cellar when I get out there. And so as blends became unavailable or threatened to become unavailable, I'll pick them up. One of the first ones I did that with was HU. I did it slowly over time. They were pretty big orders, but they were spread out over a year. Once it became clear that HU was truly going to be sold, and that they may or may not get picked up, they may or may not get produced, the blend counts that may get reproduced got smaller, and then I think we've seen them struggle with getting them in the United States. And so I picked all these up. They're all original formula, original blends. Like I said in the quick walkthrough, they're all from Germany. They're all from Estervals. And so I just picked them up because, if they do falter here in the U.S., we've got really nice, we're talking about a couple thousand tins of it, of all the blends they offered. So, it's nice to have on this side of the pond should things go wrong. Now with Sutliff announcement I did it months ago, I most of that up there, I showed you I was buying it 2 pounds, 5 pounds. I showed you those buys. I even called them panic buys, and I showed you me jarring them up. So I'm well stocked on the blends my palate currently loves. The dark fired cherry, the old dark fired, things like that. I've got pounds of it now, 4 or 5 pounds. I never have to buy it again. And I may never have to buy it again, anything. I'm choosing to pick up things here and there, but my tobacco buying, as crazy as looked probably on the videos, has slowed down considerably. And I'm picking up a Christmas blend or a Halloween blend or a Thanksgiving blend or something that's super special to someone I'm close to. So that's one of the other reasons I've done this. So the third reason is I like to give it away. I've only done one GAW my entire 2 years. We just did it. You saw it. And I couldn't have done that GAW if I had not done this. The ability to go through and pick out, what was it, 23, I think it was 23 tins of HE tobacco, put it all in a box, put a nice Boswell pipe on it, and send it out as a GAW. I could not have done that. I don't think I'd be able to go through and purchase half of those things right now, or any of them. I'm not even sure what's really available anymore. I haven't checked Estervals in a while. But, or somebody makes a video or makes a comment and there's a clear need or a problem, or I like to go through, pick out a few things and send it. I like that. I did several hundred Team Freedom badges, and if you one of the ones that got them, you know you didn't get just a badge. You got a badge and a couple of tins of tobacco, and it comes out of here. It just wouldn't be possible if I didn't. You know, to send out a couple of hundred packages, 2 tins each, I mean, that's a pretty big number, right? 400, 500 tins. I could not have done that if I didn't have this here in the back. So kind of another reason I did it. Another possibility, I don't think this is why I did it, but a benefit of having done it, particularly on the HU side. I mean, the tins are currently selling for almost twice what I paid for them, because I kind of paid for them before it became big news that HU was probably getting purchased. So I was picking a lot of these tins up at $10 and $12 a tin. And Esterbal's had it for good pricing. Now, you had to pay international shipping, but if I ordered a couple hundred tins and had it shipped, it really didn't cost me much more than if I bought 4 or 5 tins. So, you know, I've probably got upwards of $100,000 in profit sitting on the shelves right now. And if pricing continues to go the way it does, well, this will be, just the HU tins will be 200 grand in profit. I mean, I don't do it for that reason, but you know, that's one of the benefits, or I don't know, I'm not even sure how to say what I'm trying to say, but I mean, there's some real economic value in buying things that have gone away. You know, think about if I could have bought 1,000 Frog Mortons. I mean, it was gone before I even started this journey, but if I could have bought 1,000 little tins of Frog Morton and had it sitting here, you know, what kind of a boon would that be? So I'm always looking for reasons. You've seen my investment videos, my latest one. I'm always looking for ways to make my money go to work for me, and not at the guaranteed 4% rate. I expect more out of my money than that. And so I've bought a lot of things that are probably going away, and they could be worth 10 times what I paid for it. It's not why I did it, but it's a benefit of having this kind of cellar here and in Wyoming. So there's part of an explanation, I guess. Just show you a quick video of my backup guard dog unit here. She's clearly confident that Ranger has the ball. So Sasha's getting herself fueled up for if it becomes her turn. I'm not sure if you sum these few pieces together, if it makes any sense to you, but you know, if you go from the young and stupid, just didn't know what I was doing, to I like helping out some of the brick and mortars, to I like having the ability to give gifts, I like the ability to do a meaningful GAW. I like the investment aspect of it. I mean, that's the snot ball of kind of how we got here. I'm not buying at this level anymore. You know, if I find out other things are going away, I might pick up some things, but I can smoke nicely and give great gifts for the rest of my life. And it's all here. It's done. It's paid for. It's sitting here. It's not financed. It's not on a credit card. It's done. It's all sealed. It's all protected. You know, and for a man cave, what a great set of wall decorations, right? I mean, I just had a guy come in and we had a great investment conversation this morning. He wanted to go through my paper, and to sit in here and have this conversation it's just a great way to do it. I mean, it's a man cave, and 2 walls of my man cave are pretty much decorated with tobacco, and I like that. You know, the other thing is, can you really go wrong? I mean, you know, is it really any sort of risk to have put this money in here? I don't think so. I don't think it's, you know, I've talked several times on my videos about tobacco will never be cheaper than it is today, and it will never be easier to get than it is today. So I just feel like this is a riskless way to spend a little bit of money and be able to do fun things with it. I also like to, when a news story or world event affects me, I like to take myself out of it emotionally. And so I can watch the Sutliff debacle happen now because I have physically in my possession enough for the rest of my life. There were enough to give gifts or do gods and smoke it for the rest of my life. I have enough HU to do the same thing. I can watch the HU story unemotionally, and I like that. One thing about me in here is, I hate being told this is going away. I hate being told that this is the end, that this will not be able to get this before again. So sometimes I react to that with what I call panic buys. I think I'm pretty honest about it, and I do a video on it. And so, we have two major tobacco stories going on. I don't know where either one is going. The Sutliff one is, I think, more clear now, but I don't know if the HU one's going the way we'd like it to or not. We'll see. Maybe they're working their way through all the snafus, and there'll be no issues. You'll be able to get anything you want from HU here in the States at any time. Maybe that's coming. I don't know. But if it doesn't, I'm ready. And if it does, I'm okay with that. So that's just some more thoughts. The other thing is, I realize I'm not a good example. I mean, I can't say don't buy too much tobacco or don't oversell. That'd be stupid. But I realize I'm in a different place in life. All my real estate's paid for. My cars are paid for. I have no debt on the planet. I have plenty of money. So what do you do with it? And sometimes you buy things that may not make a lot of sense. Like, I don't think my wife would advise me or is very happy about it. She doesn't particularly care. She doesn't come over to the paddock very often. But when she does, I think she kind of shakes her head, but she shakes it quietly. And anyway, that's just sort of another reason I felt comfortable doing it. But I also try to pay more attention, like my cigar Tupperware system right there. That's all I'm doing in Maryland. I've got my top 10 on my honorable mention 4. That's one of my videos in the past. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to blow this one up, right? If you want to see a crazy humidor, see the one I've got in Wyoming. So, and speaking of Wyoming, I built up a paddock. I built up a cellar in Wyoming. One, because I'm there half the time, but the other is, for a long time, I didn't know what it was like to live there. The house is literally in the middle of the wilderness. I mean, it is literally in the 8,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains inside of Grand Teton National Park. And people warn me that it can be hard to get things out there at times now. 3 years later, I have found that not to be true. Amazon delivers to me every day. Not Amazon, it's UPS out there. Amazon has no delivery in Jackson that I'm aware of. And this time of year, I've got to drive out and meet the driver. It's the same UPS guy. We're friends, Juan. He texts me and says, "Hey, I'm coming." And I drive out onto the park roads so that he doesn't have to try to negotiate the mess of the private road system. But I get Amazon every day. So, I can buy anything I want, just like I would here in Maryland. It gets delivered. So, would I have stocked up the way I did in Wyoming if I knew that at the time? Maybe not, but it's great. I can do the same thing that I do here. I can spin around, decide. I literally in the morning look around and go, I feel like smoking this today. And I like that. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good explanation or not, but I'm just trying to tell you kind of what goes inside a man who does this. And I don't really know if I have a better explanation than that, but I don't know if that explains it, or it certainly doesn't justify it. I certainly get that. There's no justification, in my opinion, for what sits behind me. But I can certainly try to explain why I did it. Would I do all these aromatics again? Probably not. But other than that, I would probably repeat what you see if I had to. So hope that helps. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for the video. I'm going to stick a couple of snow videos on the end of this. I'm going to show you the backyard in Wyoming, and I'm going to show you kind of what's happened here in the last couple of days. And then we'll wrap it up. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again maybe tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Kids here, we got about 6-7 inches overnight. Probably get a foot of snow today. Got a little bit of snow out here. Maybe 7-8 inches. Maybe a little bit more. thought I'd dig this car out just in case. You guys have been coming by every morning lately. It's about 7:15 in the morning, Saturday morning. Caught a little snow last night.
Pretty.
This is kind of nice sunrise over the new fallen snow. We don't see this very often in Maryland, or in southern Maryland. So there's the backyard. There's the fire pit. So you're looking at it from the other side here, looking down on it. But just looks pretty nice this morning. And I love when that fireball comes up. It's the best part of the day.